everyone, welcome back to the Echo Wood. Today I have a really short and sweet tutorial here for you, and we're only going to use one brush. And you can download the color palette for free on my Patreon. Let's begin by opening up a new canvas. Starting off with this first pink color, we're just going to drag and drop it so the whole background is filled. Next we're going to add a new layer on top of that and choose the black second color. And then we're going to go to inking and choose dry ink for our brush, and we're just gonna reduce the brush to about 15%. Next, go up to your wrench tool and under preferences, you're gonna go into pressure and smoothing and change stabilization to about 30-31%. And this is just going to make it so our strokes are a little bit smoother and not as wonky. I'm starting off by making these kind of curly Q string lights, and you can do this however you want. I just try to do it here and there and just kind of fill up the page. Once you have it looking something like this, you're going to add a new layer. And I like to just start with multiple layers because if I make a mistake, it makes it a lot easier to go back and fix it. But you can certainly draw this on the same layer. And I just make these little lines and then kind of 3 strokes after that. And this is kind of the light bulb connection from where it comes out from the string of lights cord. And as you can see, I'm just going around and kind of alternating on every other side of the string and being mindful to really space them out, because once you draw the bulb itself, you don't want them to overlap. At least I didn't. Once you have it looking something like this, where everything is kind of evenly spaced, then I add a new layer, and now we're going to start drawing the bulbs. And then I just drag that layer underneath that top layer. And now I'm going to select that pink color that is 3rd in the row, and still with my dry ink brush, I'm just going to start drawing these kind of oval bulb shapes. Just make like a simple oval. It doesn't have to be perfect, and just fill it in. And I like to leave it a little bit streaky so it kind of gives like a sketched effect. Okay, now I'm going to start a new color on another layer, just going down the line and going in with this green color, and we're just going to keep doing the same for every single color. Next, I'm doing this yellow color. And next I'm going to choose this kind of light blue, kind of powder blue color. And lastly, I chose this orange color. And as you can see, the bulbs are kind of a variety of sizes. That's okay. Some are a little bit larger, some are a little bit smaller, whatever you feel like doing. Once it starts looking like this, I go back and add a few more that are kind of hanging off the edge that aren't connected necessarily to the string part. This just helps fill in space a little bit more. Okay, and I'm good with how all these bulbs look, so I'm just gonna select all of the bulb layers, and then you take 2 fingers and just kind of pinch. And next you're gonna make a new layer again, and you're gonna choose the final color, which is white. And I'm going to reduce my brush size down to about 8% and just draw this little squiggle line on each one of the bulbs as kind of the filament. You're just going to go through and add this little swirly guy to each one. Okay, and once that is finished, I am going to add in some snowflakes on the top. And how I like to make a snowflake is just draw 3 lines like so, and then each line you'll add these little V marks to each line. And I just placed them of various sizes throughout the entire design. Then I add little circular shaped dots for snow. I also like to mix in a few little star shapes as well. Next, I'm adding a few highlights on the bulbs themselves. And lastly, I'm going to go into each bulb and just draw some strokes coming out of it as if they're little beams of light. Once that's done, I'm going to go in and select all my layers. Looks like I had an extra layer there, and just pinch them together again and merge them. Next, I slide the pen to the right and choose duplicate, and I am going to hide all the layers except for that duplicated layer. Next, I add a new layer on top of it and choose this kind of darker pink color, and then I clip it into that top layer because this is going to be our shadow layer. And then I drag that layer to the top, make sure it's not clipped in, and then that pink layer, we're going to merge that down. So now we have our art layer and then the shadow layer beneath it. Then go up to your select tool and make sure distort is chosen and make sure that your snapping and magnetics are turned off. Then you're just going to play around with the transform tools a little bit, so it's giving it just a slight drop shadow. And then you go into your layer and then choose multiply, and I'm going to reduce the opacity to about 60%. And as always, make sure to sign your name because you're an artist. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this video today, and happy holidays.